Ciao, everyone. Buona domenica. Hope you're having a great day. I'm Eszter.
This is the boyfriend of the birthday girl.
Alfredo. Ciao, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, or if you're new around here, welcome to You, Me, and Sicily. Thanks for being here. Wow, we had a busy week, right? We published a video on the province of Messina, which is in our playlist called Explore Sicily. And we have other provinces in there as well. But today we want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we didn't talk about in the province of Messina, right? Because it's such a jewel. Just like everywhere in Sicily, there's so much to see. And in an 8-minute or 10-minute video, there's only so much we can add, right?
You know, Messina is a magnificent province, period, end of sentence. You could literally break it up into 2 or 3 different provinces if you really stop and think about it. I mean, number one, you've got Etna there, right? That's a whole study right there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Nebrodi Mountains, all the borgs, the little towns in the Nebrodi Mountains. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
That's 2. And then you have the fantastic coastline.
And you have the Pelorutina mountain range out there as well.
Yeah, but I'm just talking, correct, but I'm just talking about, it should really be a huge study. That's just a great, it's one of my favorite provinces.
Yeah, so one of the things we didn't talk about is the Alcantora Gorge, which is a beautiful national park to go visit. It's an actual river that starts at the Nebrodi Mountains and goes out to the Aeolian Sea. It's one of the few rivers in Sicily.
Right, it's located in Giardini Naxos, the actual park itself. And it's a great place to go. Say, for example, you take, your family, you go actually to the gorge itself. You pay an admission to get in. And they have nice, cold, refreshing water for you. You can lounge around in the summertime. It's just great. They also have tours there, have a few restaurants, gift shop. It's really a good take. That's a good little place.
Now, the other thing we didn't talk about in the video is that Messina, actually, the city of Messina, was a gateway for during one of the Crusades, right?
All the Crusades. They went down the Italian peninsula. They crossed the strait, and then from Messina they assembled their armies and they went to the Mideast.
The Holy Land.
The Holy Land. Okay, the Holy Land. That was the debarkation point. Right?
Yeah, I think it was Richard Lionheart was famous in stopping here in Sicily, in Messina. What else in the province of Messina? One of the towns we didn't talk about is Santo Stefano da Camastra, which is one of the towns all the way to the west of the province of Messina, and of course known for its ceramics. But guess what? We're doing an entire episode on Santo Stefano da Camastra.
Sometimes the essence of genius is knowing what to eliminate.
Good point.
And what we had to do is we had to try to find out several of the defining points of the province. We think we did. It seems to be very well received.
Yeah, it's been great. It's very
but
beautiful.
there's still so much more to see. Are you kidding me? You could spend the whole vacation in that one province. Forget about. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't really try to go all over the island when you come here the first time. I think if you stick to 2 provinces or 3 provinces and get to know them, it'll give you cause to come back. Just my opinion.
That's a good. I mean, if you're coming here for a month, certainly spend some time.
Yeah,
in
a month
each
is
region.
fine. Yeah, but a week, you'd be too tired traveling all over the places.
Yeah.
So what else?
Should we say hello to some people? A lot of people are on here. I want to say, just before we go on, I'm so appreciative to spend my birthday with the You, Me, and Sicily community. I feel really blessed to be here with the Alfredo sauce in Sicily and online with you. So I just want to say grazie mille.
Okay.
All right, Sue and Joe are here. Buongiorno. Jim Ingram.
James.
Hello, Helen. Thank you very, very much. Thomas Catone, Rosalia is here. Manny, and I think I saw my sister. Oh, there's Travis here. Thank you, Travis. B. Green, thank you. My sister is here from New York City. She says, hi, Al.
Bern, how are you, Bern? I love you, babe. You're okay. Right. Hey, before I forget, I have to say also, happy birthday to my granddaughter, Noe. She turned 14 today. So I have to say that I'm going to see you pretty soon, I hope. You're going to Cannibal Lake today. That's Campbell Lake Park in Salem, New Hampshire. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, of course, as a
Great.
child.
Great.
Today's another big day, right, Al? D-Day. I used to
D-Day.
say all the time, my birthday, June 6th.
76 years ago.
A way to remind people, I used to say, just D-Day. Just remember D-Day.
Esther, this morning, I tried to watch the beginning of Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan, which is that whole section on the D-Day, invasion. Yeah. I started to tear up. It was so realistic. It was just crazy.
An important day, right?
God rest their souls. God rest their souls, and please, God, take them into your kingdom, because these young kids, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, thousands of them, died for our freedom. So please, Lord.
Beautifully said.
Really.
Watch over them.
Yep.
Thank you, Susan Peterson. Fred McNeil is here. Sicilian heat has hit New Jersey. It's a scorcher. Well, guess what? It is hot here today.
Thank God.
And, I got a bunch of calls from my Sicilian friends. And guess where everyone is? La playa, on the beach.
It's good to go to the beach. You know why? Because the little kids around here who irritate me, and there are some that irritate me, believe me, they're at the beach. I hope they're at the beach. I got this one, Piscataway. I got it. Michelle and Joe. Piscataway, New Jersey. Thank you for the birthday. Peter Scapoletti is here. I just planted your peppers. I am looking forward to having some of that. Peter, can I say something to Peter?
Yes, of course.
Peter, this lettuce that I planted? She's been eating it almost every day. Not full heads, but she gives it a haircut, and she puts it in her salad. And I think every day now for the last few weeks. Right?
And the pepper one.
And the pepper too, yeah.
Andrew Polisi, very well said. Exactly. My mother is here. Happy 50th birthday to my beautiful eldest and your favorite daughter, right? Your favorite?
No.
Yes.
Clara.
Just kidding.
I love Clara.
She wrote in Hungarian, Isten értesen sokáig édes. Köszi szépen. Mwah. Can't wait to see you guys.
Keep quiet and don't say that, because Bernadette is here.
Hi to everyone. Do you know in Catania, one said that Messina province is the Provincia Baba. Baba in dialect Sicilian means foolish, naive, and of course Messina people get mad.
I'll tell you the truth about their food. The food is quite different than the rest of the island. It's delicious, but different. Although I have to say that their desserts are quite tasty.
Yeah, well, every region has a different.
It's really a meld of things there, just in my opinion.
Yeah. Remember, where did we have a nice plate? You had a nice plate of pasta with fish over there on the coast. One of those days, and it had the shrimps on it.
That was over by Brolo.
Brolo, that's it.
It was over by Brolo. That's on the top
Brolo,
side.
that's another one. Capo di Orlando. We didn't talk about Capo di Orlando. What a beautiful thing.
There's so many places. I mean, a nice people like to go into the mountains, and I can't stress how beautiful the Nebrodi Mountains are, both in the summertime where it's cooler than it is the furnaces in the city, but also in the wintertime. And there are a beautiful string of fantastic towns there, okay? Francavilla di Sicilia, the birthplace of Gaetano Cipolla from Abra da Secula, my mentor, is right up there. Castiglione di Sicilia is there. It's just another great one. Novara di Sicilia, where Monia is from.
Yep.
And they have this one up in Novara di Sicilia. They have an annual, this is kind of clever, cheese wheel rolling competition. Okay, big cheese wheels that are left over and so forth. And they started it to get tourists in there. And a couple of years ago, right before the COVID, Japan sent a bunch of competitive teams. So if you go online and you see cheese wheel championship, it'll be there.
Hopefully festivals will be starting out soon, right? We're reopening.
Man,
if you're watching this in the beginning of June, we're starting to reopen. Back to Sicily. It says, happy birthday, Eszter, watching from Connecticut, still waiting for the kids' vaccinations to get back. My sister wants to know, what are you going to do for your birthday dinner? My birthday dinner tomorrow. We're going to go to Catania to probably one of my favorite restaurants in all of Sicily, Antica Sicilia. And if you guys have been here for a while on this channel, you know what I'm going to have. I'm going to have zuppa di cozzi, mussels, and red sauce. So there you go. And
she's also going to get if the Lord is looking over Eszter, and I'm sure he is, when is it, next week?
Yeah.
Sunday, Saturday?
Saturday.
She may get jabbed.
Finally got my appointment.
Maybe.
Get the bell ready.
Get the bell ready.
Get
Okay.
the bell ready. Joe.
Francesco gave us a bell, a ship's bell.
So for every time
we get somebody join
John
our,
Belilo, thank you.
is our bell.
Let's hear it. Perfect.
Okay. So wait a minute. May I say something about this? Okay. Now, to commemorate Esther's birthday, she now has the wisdom of Sarah, so I won't tell you how old she is.
Some people already know in here.
Okay, but anyways, if you say that the first number begins with a 4, you're wrong. But anyways, to commemorate her birthday, okay, if you join today, only today during this broadcast, or if you watch it, if somebody else, 24 hours. If you
June
join
7th.
our private group today, and all you have to do is press the button, $1.99. I, out of the goodness of my heart and Esther's wallet, we're going to give a $200 discount. $200 discount on any of you who are first timers coming on any type of trip with us. Okay, you could use it now. You could use it next year. We don't care.
What do you say, 2022?
Okay? Up to 2022, we'll give you and it's going to cost you how much? $1.99 a month to support this channel. And it's like a cup of coffee a month. And guess what? We'll give you $200. Now, if you're a veteran, and we've already not a veteran, I'll tell you what, if you're a veteran, we'll give you $300. How does that sound?
Okay, does that include private tours too, or just our group tours?
No, this is our group tours. Now, for those who are already receiving discounts, we can't put a discount on a discount. So, but if you're bringing friends, we'd be more than happy to apply it to a friend of yours. So say 4 people are coming and 2 of them. So anyways, join up today, because today
Michael Blades is here, and we're going to see them, I think, in November. Excited to see them.
What's going
on? The Wee Horse is here. Good to see you. Of course, Alfred, even the food is so different. They cook fantastic stoccolo and sweet pignolata. And also they have the black rice there, which is very typical of that area.
The breaded rolled carne, the breaded rolled meat is just killer too. Are you kidding me? I love that place.
Love to hear this, Thomas. A lot of good people born in June. My dad's birthday was yesterday. Oh, goody.
Who?
He would have been 101 if he had lived. My son and my brother's birthday is also. Alfred's birthday is coming up at the end of this month as
I was born on the day Custer had his last stand. End of June.
Karen Flores says, happy birthday, Eszter. We are heading to Palermo week of 6/21. That is awesome.
Are you staying in Palermo?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Joe Esioni, we spent his birthday over there. That was such a nice day, right?
Yeah.
The other thing, Maria is here. Oh, lucky you to have the most delicious mustards ever. Hi. Maria is also from the province of Messina. We took her to an ancestral home in Italia. I forgot the rest of the first part of the name, but Maria, leave me a comment.
We didn't talk about actually taking a ride on the ferry from Messina to Calabria. That is a nice experience.
On the ferry, yeah.
On the ferry in in Messina. You go right off the highway. There's indications there. And I think it's €39 to cross over on the ferry. And they orderly put your cars in, and you can, after you can shut your car off, of course, because it's about a 20 or 25 minute, ride. And they have upstairs a couple of nice coffee bars, wine bars, and so forth. And you can look outside on the deck. And then when you get to Calabria, you're on the other side and you drive off. Now they even put buses on those things, and they put obviously the train, because the train's got to go someplace. So they put the train on special ones too. So that's a nice take.
Yeah, we get asked this a lot about the bridge from the Messina over to Calabria.
Yeah,
that they've been talking about connecting Sicily to the mainland for a long time. Every time there's some kind of a proposal, it gets canceled, and environmentalists say that it would be a catastrophe. Others say it'll be good for tourism. It'll create jobs, but really that current is way too strong, right? It's potentially a dangerous place.
Right now, Italy is so broke it can't pay attention. Where the hell are they going to get the money from? I want to know where they're going to get the money from. Why don't they pick up the garbage around here first?
Yeah, that's been another problem again.
The problem, I'm telling you right now, every time there's a holiday, like when was it, Monday there was a holiday?
We had Festa della Repubblica.
It takes about 3 weeks to get back to normal. And Rosario says, well, you have to know the rule of 7 or 1. I says, what's the rule of 7 and 1? You know the rule of 7?
No.
For every one person doing the work, there's 7 others standing around watching it, and that's pretty much the case, man. Okay, I mean, you would think that they all work for, I don't know what department, the street department in the city of Lawrence, because that's how it was when I used to be there. One guy had the shovel, and the other 6 guys were playing cards.
You know, but it has been unusually bad just driving around. Yes, there'll be traveling in the province of Palermo. That's good to hear. Yeah, people are starting to come. We're very excited to also start our tours. We're available for private tours, and we have group tours starting in October, which we are very excited about. Right, Al?
Well, the group tour for October is all sold out, so we can't take any more people. However, the second half of October, if you want to come here, we could show you around privately. And then, as we said, if there's enough interest, we'll do something in the month of December for a formal tours. But no one's really, except one person, I think, has expressed an interest in that. So if we can get like 6 people, we'll book a tour. But then again, it's very early, and people are still very hesitant, aren't they?
Yeah.
About what's going on with the
well, you have
about this. You have to get it translated. What's a green pass? What's this? I mean, every week it's something else. It's crazy.
Well, you have to quarantine if you're not on a COVID-free flight. You still have to quarantine for 10 days until July 31st.
What is can you explain to the people what a COVID-free flight is?
There's designated airlines that have so-called COVID-free flights. They go from New York and a few other places, and you don't have to quarantine. You get tested before you get on the flight, and when you arrive here in Italy, you don't have to quarantine.
Okay, when I go to the States, right, I've already been vaccinated.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to go all'Italia. I'm not going on one of these things, right? So when I come back, I don't have to. That'll
be past July 31st. This is only till July 31st. After that, they're dropping that.
I see.
Who knows
so
what's going to
on
happen.
August 1st, when I'm leaving, I don't have to deal with that nonsense?
In the United States.
No, I'm talking about in Italy. I mean, if I have my vaccination, why do I have to be quarantined?
You don't have to. You're coming back in end of August.
Sometimes I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
I don't either. Trust me. All right, so you guys, so we did the province of Catania, the province of Syracuse, just published province of Messina. So where should I go next? Should I go to Enna? Should I go to Ragusa? Maybe Agrigento, Trapani? I think I'm going to save Palermo for last, because that's going to be a bang.
I was telling Eszter, we were talking about this at a production meeting. I think she ought to do, tell me what you think. I think she ought to do 2 when we get to the province of Palermo. 1 on the province of Palermo, but 2 on the city of Palermo. I think the city needs a separate study myself. So my vote has been, 2. So she keeps on putting it,
Well, wait a second. I agree with you.
All right, so that's it.
On YouTube, a national YouTube.
I'm going to cut this off. At what time?
I agree with you.
Oh
All right, Joe Estioni says Ragusa. Agrigento, says Tony Potty.
We're going to do Agrigento. I love Agrigento.
Agrigento. Oh, Christine Harrison says, I second Ragusa. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I did a video on Ragusa and Modica. It was a short one. But there's a few other ones. All right, I'm going to have to go through here and check out what else.
I think John Ritchie, I think he ordered some books of mine. May I talk about
Yes.
John, when I get home, I'll mail you books out. Okay, I got the order yesterday, and for those of you who don't know, if you order my books, which are available on my website, can I say my website? alfredzappola.com. You click on books, and I've been having this special 3 of my last 3 books for $19, including free shipping. Okay, and since I'm going to be home, I'll ship them myself, and I'm also going to sign them, and I'm also going to include some beautiful postcards that we bought. So when I get, until they're gone, okay? I think I have enough for 50 books. Am I correct? Yeah.
I think you have 100. You have 100 postcards. Yeah,
100?
100 or 150.
I thought about
Beautiful.
150, so that'll be 3. Everybody gets 3, so I have enough for 50 books. And then the other thing, and this isn't going to last but a week or two, I have the Trinacria, the sterling silver Trinacria is back. My
Mhm.
friend from Talmina have them, and many people wanted them. So if you want a Trinacria, you need to message either Eszter or myself. Now,
Mhm.
Here it is. It's early June, and I'm telling you, in a week or so, they'll be
Gone.
gone. So if you do want one, send us a message right away, and we'll get them to you
All right.
when I come back.
So if you're interested in the tours, by the way, you go to You, Me, and Sicily. Okay.
No,
Nancy
actually-
says, "Ciao and Algudi, Eszter. With no transfers of USA driver's license to Italian, is there a year grace period to drive there with an international?"
There's no such thing as a grace period, and basically that driver's thing that you get from AAA is not a driver's license. It's a driver's permit.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can get away with it for 90 days if you're going to be here for 90 days.
A lot of the car rentals ask for that. So if you're going to rent a car,
yeah, make sure you get it if you have it. Okay, but that is not a license. That is a international driver's permit. But you have to have a USA license, though.
Rose Rosie, I love that name, from New Jersey, born in Caltabellotta, province of Agrigento. I don't know what we'll do next. Best and sweetest oranges. Where's that? I missed that. Oh, Helen says Ragusa. Okay, we'll see.
Where?
Huh? Joe Ascioni says.
I vote Ragusa.
Okay, now
Yeah,
I saw
2%
back
vote.
then, Alfred, some people were asking about your hat.
Today?
Yeah, people were asking, like,
You like this hat?
interesting hat.
First of all, I shaved my head yesterday.
Yeah.
And this hat was always a little snug on me because, when I had hair. But now it fits me pretty good. What do you think?
I love it.
I like it
love
too. This was made
I
by
love
the
my new hat too.
CHI Ina Company. CH Ina Company. Okay. It's one of my summer hats. $10.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is, I don't know if you were here. Was it Festa della Repubblica? I got my cherries. I think it was Festa della Repubblica. We did a video on the importance of the Festa della Repubblica, and I showed the 5 pounds of cherries from our neighbor Francesco, right? So guess what? I did a little something. I got up the next day and I'm like, I'm going to make something. So that video is coming up in the next week or so. Sicilian cherries from Lingua Glossa.
See, Richard's going to get that discount.
Thank you,
Richard. You get a discount, Richard, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? Contact us so we know how to get a hold of you.
Stefania.
Let me tell you something, okay? Eszter spent about 3 hours online researching cherries and what to make, okay?
3 hours.
She couldn't wait to get out of bed in the morning, right? 7 o'clock, and I get up out of bed, was it Monday, yeah? And I see that colander there. She's got the cherries out. I mean,
but I appreciate a lot of people had a lot of recipes. I didn't spend 3 hours. Stefania, grazie mille.
What did Stefania do?
Stefania is here. Buon compleaños, she says.
Oh, yes. Well, can I finish my story?
Yes.
Okay. But you know what else I did besides what she did, which was squeeze them to the death with by her hand and make the juice.
What are you talking about? I stomped on them with my feet.
No, she didn't stomp on them. But anyways, after she squeezed them, and the juice was delicious, by the way, we had like I don't know, a couple of bunches left over that I don't know, we didn't use it. But what I did was I put them in a glass jar and I filled it up with brandy, like my grandmother used to do.
My grandmother did the same thing.
They have to sit though for months. So every day I go by there and I look at them. So
to see if they're ready. All right, in 1 month.
Ready after
all right,
1
let's
week.
do this. July 4th. Why don't we taste them July 4th?
You have to have a Manhattan. I have to make a Manhattan.
We'll taste them on July. What is the easy way to learn Italian in the U.S.? Any recommendations? Yes. YouTube videos. There's a bunch of women that I follow on YouTube. If you message, I'll message you some of the names. One of them is Learn Italian with Lucrezia. She is really good. She does video blogs, so she'll go around Rome and she'll be speaking in Italian, but she also does a lot of grammar. So I strongly recommend that you find someone, because there's a lot of Italian teachers out there. Find someone that resonates with you. There's a bunch of them. There's also Manuele. Italian Made Easy, I believe, is the name of his channel. But YouTube is where it's at. There's so much you can learn. So that's my recommendation.
I think that if you have like Netflix, even YouTube, watch an Italian movie or even an Italian kids movie and do closed captions in English. That's how I get my ear, is I watch Italian movies. And I also pick up some good vocab words watching the Italian movies.
That's a good idea.
In English, yeah.
Mary Jo, can you please add a link? I'll put it in the description note of this show once we are done. I will definitely do it. But
thank you. Mary Jo.
Just so you know, alfredzappala.com.
If you go www.alfredzappala.com, you can order them right online.
Lucia Matthews, thank you so much.
Who's that?
A lot of people. I really appreciate everyone being here. Good morning from the beautiful Pacific Northwest.
Wow.
Would love to see an episode on Ragusa. Happy birthday. We look forward to your weekly visits. Thank you, Dan. Dan, once we're done with this video, go to our channel and go to the playlist called Explore Sicily. And in Explore Sicily, a few months ago, I focused on the towns of Ragusa and Modica. So we did already cover that a little bit, but I will include it a little bit more in the province of Ragusa. Have you visited Scala dei Turchi? I love it there. It is one of the most unique and beautiful places here in Sicily. I mean, that white rock is just splendid. And in the summer, when the sun is beaming on it, it is just something to marvel at. Another one of the many jewels here.
Getting back to Ragusa, okay? Ragusa, Ibla, okay? First of all, the approach to Ragusa, you need to stop your car about a mile outside of town and start snapping some pictures of the towns, because the town, it's crazy beautiful, okay? Ibla is even crazy beautiful-er, okay? That was the original Ragusa that got destroyed by the earthquake in the 17th century. It was pretty much intact, but now they're starting to rebuild it, and a lot of people live there now. And then you have the one on top of it called Superior, which is connected by a bridge, okay? But you need to go to the public gardens.
Yeah.
You need to go to the public gardens, and right by the public gardens is the Duomo, okay? Now, if you go to the Duomo and you're female, you have to have that's the one that they're very militant about, having your shoulders covered and your head covered. Yeah, that particular one there is militant. And right outside where the Duomo is, there are two pizzerias, outdoor pizzerias. Can't miss them. They're right there. I could recommend either one of them.
Yeah, we ate there
for
one time.
Delicious lunch.
Now, listen to me. You say those churches, but the matter of fact is that a lot of churches, if you recall, in actually Trezza, my little village over here, my first year, 2014, I went to church, and it was a really hot summer day. I think it was like July or August, and my shoulders weren't covered. So when I went up to get communion, the priest nicely said, you need to have your shoulders covered. So there you go. But I will tell you that a lot of places, like, for example, the cathedral in San Agata, even the Duomo in Palermo, they do have this container that has some shawls that you can borrow, right?
Did they give you a hard time in Marsala del Vallo when you went there? Or you can't videotape in Marsala del Vallo? Remember we went into the Duomo?
No, I filmed in there.
Oh, okay.
I filmed in there. Okay, your hat looks like the hats the communist Chinese used to wear. It kind of reminds me of that. Huh.
Hey, you want to know something? Let me just get this straight, okay? About Russians, Chinese, Iranians, you name it, okay? People are people, okay? What makes things hateful are the political component. I've had over the years as students at law school many wonderful Chinese men and women who are now spectacular lawyers, okay? So I'm not going to say, yeah, communist China is no good, because I happen to look and I know people who are good.
Sweetie Pie, no one said that. Sweetie Pie,
no, but
they're talking about your hat.
My hat
they're talking
isn't
about
made by
your
the
hat.
communist Chinese.
Honey, they say, Joe and Sue said that it looks like what the Chinese militants used to wear. But let's move on.
I've been sick. Wait, one last thing. I've been sick to my stomach, and when I look every day, get up and I read the New York Post or one of those papers,
Mhm.
and I see the assault on Asian people. It sickens me. It really does. We are all children of God.
Perfectly
And I
said.
really wish we can get that word out.
I
Okay?
agree.
We're children of God. God loves us all.
What's Mama cooking for us? You can also freeze the cherries, the next batch of cherries, I think. I'll
Hey, you can
add that.
freeze cherries?
Jim, that's a good point. American movies translated into Italian. But
Right,
the thing is that I'd rather hear the Italian. So I would highly suggest that you watch
Subtitles.
videos
No,
in
subtitles.
Italian. Excuse me.
You watch it in Italian with the English subtitles.
Thank you, Joy. Yeah.
Let's show you.
You're so right, Al. Politics ruins everything. Let's not
It
even go there.
I agree with you,
Basta.
honey. I don't
Happy
talk
birthday,
politics
Anne
anymore.
Marie. Ciao. Let me see here. David DeMarco, enjoying watching this. Happy you are here. Let me see here. Tony says, used to go to Scala de Torchi with my cousins next door to my town of Porto Empedocle.
We were there. We were there.
Now flooded with tourists. Yeah.
May I say another thing about that particular one? And I want to get back to Ragusa, Marina di Ragusa, too.
But before we do that, that area, too, unfortunately, right now, there's a lot of problems, right, with the migrants.
Well, what happened is the European Union, in its wisdom, decided to take a lot of the migrants, which come landing from that area that area, and they've been sticking them in housing. And sometimes it gets to be a little bit intimidating to see a bunch of, people walking on the sidewalk or in the streets. Okay, so it's a little bit of a problem. Number two, getting back to Ragusa, about 15 miles away is the Marina di Ragusa, which is their beach. And for those of you who are beach lovers, the sands are beautiful, okay? Like a white sand type of a thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like a New England beach. And also, they have a wonderful promenade about a mile long that's just loaded up with, restaurants and shops, and there's a few hotels over there.
That whole area is so beautiful.
It's just a great area.
The Baroque architecture in Ragusa is very, very unique.
Great area.
The Warehouse says, begin following videos on YouTube and search for free lessons. I made it for Learn English. Good. Sounds good.
Oh,
okay.
Good.
Let me see here. So, Nancy, are you celebrating your birthday? I'm celebrating my birthday with you guys. I love that I get to be here with my Yumi and Sicily community. I really, really appreciate that. I'm here with the Alfredo and Sicily, and tomorrow we'll celebrate. No more politics. Sorry, I brought it up about the Japanese. Okay.
Joe, whoever you are. So what if you brought it up? Okay. Doesn't make any difference. I want to say something.
Wait a second.
Okay?
Noto,
Eszter?
excuse me, Noto is not a
Noto.
province. It is in the province of Siracusa.
We're talking about Noto.
Hmm?
Eszter, I just want to say one thing, okay? And you guys can appreciate this. And Ernest Hemingway wrote a book that sums up my living in Sicily with Eszter Bunsta on her birthday. I almost said the number, but I didn't. It's called A Movable Feast. Because every day, dearest Eszter, is a movable feast. Now, yes, I know I should probably get a job, working for Hallmark, writing those little tacky
I'm
things.
surprised they haven't reached out to you yet.
I've gotten 3 emails saying, Alfred, I read that little thing that you wrote, Eszter, on Facebook today. Work for Hallmark. My brother's been breaking them all day about that. But what are you going to do?
It was a beautiful tribute. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yes, you're right. Dan says Elle is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Make sure you take a deep breath before driving up. And there's a bunch of other towns that are so beautiful. They're situated on top of a hill, and as you drive up there, it gets closer and closer. Tusa was one of those, right? In the province of Messina, as we got closer, it got bigger and bigger. Sicily is another one. That is a beautiful place. You drive up there and it looks far away. We were just somewhere else recently, Al. That we were driving there, and it was in the distance. Was it Melilli?
Yeah,
I think it was Melilli.
Melilli's a great little town with the Church of Santo Stefano.
Yes.
I want to go to that festival, Eszter. I want to see that. That's the one that they celebrate. They have the sister church, and I believe it's what is it? Connecticut, someplace in
Middletown,
Connecticut.
They have they replicated the church and also have the celebration because so many people emigrated from the Lily and the surrounding area to Middletown, Connecticut, and they literally try to replicate the. They did replicate the church of San Sebastiano, and also the festival. But we did a whole video on Melilli.
For those of you celebrating. We're going to Boston this summer. My brother Tommy was telling me that most of the Italian festivals, including the Feast of Saint, wherever it's one, the big one in Gloucester, and then the other one.
Is that the fisherman one?
The fisherman's one. They're back on. Okay, there's a lot of festivals that are, within the last couple of weeks, are being announced as being reopened for business. So, check your festivals and try to give the vendors in Boston a little bit of business. They've been suffering.
Well, all over. But we have.
Well, if you're in Boston,
if you're in Boston,
it's a good.
I want to know where you guys are watching from. I know we have some people here from Sicily, some from Florida, some from New Jersey. But I saw Fred is here from Scotland. Erice is amazing too, right? But Erice, it's like driving up there. You got to have a tough stomach, but it is so worth it because you get to see the beautiful bay down below, Vito Capo. But Erice is really, you're transported back in time, right? You walk those cobblestone streets, the churches at every corner, the pastry shops are absolutely great.
However,
yes,
okay, we don't go there. And we don't go there because I don't want to risk the liability of having elderly people walking on what I consider to be.
Well, wait a second.
Wait, can I finish my sentence?
Yeah, but
because it's your birthday today?
Oh, yeah, I get to interrupt.
Anyways, for liability reasons, I don't like to take groups there, especially with their elderly. And I want to tell you why, because about 7 or 8 years ago, I actually twisted my ankle on the cobblestone. So I said, you want to know something? I'm not doing it.
Upstate New York, what's Mama cooking?
Hey.
Mark Hayhill is here. Nice to see you.
Hi, Mark. Long time no see.
Bend.
Great. How's the book going?
Is he writing another book?
No, we did that compilation book, and he's the one that put it together.
Canadian Gaetano. Charlie is here from Malta. Let me see. Sicily is full of beauty. Are there any areas you do not like or will not go? So let me address the Erice thing, okay? Now, Erice was on our tours out, and we're trying to get a little bit of a cross generation people. So if there is something of danger, of course we will not take people there. But we're trying to get people of all ages. So I've been even thinking about adding Erice back into our little thing because it is worth going to. The second thing I want to say to you that if you're coming here for a private tour, that's a different story. That is completely different story, right? So let me answer Maria's question, which is, are there any areas you do not like or will not go? For me, there's no area I will not go. There are some places on the island that I prefer to others. Let's say, for instance, I love going into the city of Palermo to go to the historic places, to go to the ancient market, but it is not some place where I would like to stay overnight, let's say, the center of Palermo. I'm much more comfortable in some of those more rural places, maybe by the seaside. So, Elle, I mean, you added to that was many years ago, but, if there was someone who wanted to come here, we would take them there, of course.
Listen, if somebody wants to come here on a private tour with you, ciao, see you later, go. Okay, but I'm not taking a tour group, a tour group. For liability free, it's just ridiculous. And some of my other friends in the business have said the same thing. They don't want people to get hurt. The last thing, and I want to talk about this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have travel insurance.
Yeah.
Okay? Travel insurance. You buy it from the person who you buy your ticket from. If you have a travel agent, they sell them. They actually make more money selling you the insurance than they do the ticket that you're going to buy or whatever. Buy travel insurance, okay? buy and make sure that you get a good policy. I mean, if you're going to spend for two people, say $8,000 on two tickets or $9,000, what the heck's the difference of another $400 or $500? Frankly, to be covered with insurance.
Agree,
right?
100%.
You really should do that.
Rosalie says, coming with the whole family, staying in 2 villas. Will be there for 1 month in 2022. Would like to plan a private tour with you guys. That would be awesome.
That's a good thing to
Rosalia
do.
messaged me. Not sure if we're friends on Facebook or my email is attached to this channel. So would love to do that for you. Susan Peterson is in California. What are you doing there? Thank you for being here on my birthday, Sue. I appreciate it.
Her daughter is in one of the islands, St. Babs, right? I thought I saw your daughter's there on holiday. And by the way, you look beautiful, Sue, in that. What did you guys go to, a wedding? You and Pam? Did you go to a wedding? You guys look terrific.
Yeah.
The wedding photo.
Oops. David DeMarcus says, watching from Indiana. Thank you for sharing your birthday with us. I appreciate you guys being here, my little community, my family. You guys, because really, you guys are becoming family here, right? We've been doing these lives now since last October or November, and our community is growing, and we love it. Okay, Dan says, ciao, can you talk a little bit about transportation for travelers, trains, buses, taxis, highways, etc.? Is it hard to get around without a car? Well, let me tell you this.
Want to break that up?
Let's break that up. So first of all, transportation for travelers. It's tough here getting around without a car. Of course, there's a train system. There are buses. And the train system here, by the way, is great. Every time I go to Castellammare del Golfo or Palermo or Cefalù, I can take the train up to Palermo. There's Wi-Fi. It's very clean. It's very comfortable. It's very safe. I always make friends on the train. So it's really great. But once you get to each location, then you have to think about how you're going to get to your destination. For instance, like let's say Ortigia, right? Ortigia is arguably the biggest attraction in the Siracusa area, right? So you take the train, let's say from Catania Centrale over to Siracusa. Well, you're put into the city of Siracusa. From the city of Siracusa, you got to take another taxi or bus or something over there. So that's my take on that.
I have a little bit of a different take.
Of course you do.
It depends on who you are and what kind of a trip you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Say, for example, you want to go to a beach area. Say you want to go to Giardini Naxos, which is a beautiful beach on the foothills of Taormina, right? Every major beach area of any worth has buses that come where you can go any place in the island on a day trip. They're usually between $59 and $70 per person. Air-conditioned buses, guides, the whole 9 yards. So say, for example, if you're in Taormina and you want to go to Siracusa, you're in Taormina and you want to go to Ortigia or Agrigento, that's the way to do it if you don't want to have a car. That said, to get from Catania Airport to Taormina is about €110 trip if you're going to pay for a cab. Okay?
Yeah.
Or you can take a train. Now, again, in my opinion, her and I differ on this issue. The train system here is terrific. It's even better than Amtrak in my view.
Yeah,
okay?
so we agree.
They're clean and so forth. The train stations are clean. This is all left over from the fascist era.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to drive, if you're coming here to drive, and we have plenty of people, they want to go here, 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 here. They're like a pinball machine, right? You get stressed out.
I agree.
You get stressed out driving on foreign roads. In a lot of the hinterland areas, there's no street lights. Forget about street signs. There's no street light. At nighttime, you'd be screwed, blued, and tattooed.
Now, wait a sec. You said you disagree. Do you disagree that taking the train is good, but you have to take another? What do you disagree with? We agree 100%.
I think if you're an experienced traveler and you've been here several times, by all means, rent a car.
But wait a second.
Okay.
If you do rent a car, here's something to think about. You're going to be missing out on the most spectacular scenery, even on the highways. Driving here is great. It is stressful. It is very stressful to drive here in Sicily. And I've been here for a long time, and I've driven these roads, but it can be stressful. They're Italian drivers, they're Sicilian drivers. But Alfred is right, even on some of the mountain, like going up to Etna, some of the roads are so narrow, it's so swirly, it's uphill, downhill. So instead of enjoying Sicily, you're having to drive. So, Al, I think we agreed that the trains are good, the buses are good, the taxis are available, the highways are in great condition. But I go back to, is it hard to get around without a car? No, it can be done if you're staying at a hotel. Most hotels have that offer, They also have some hop on, hop off things. So a lot of things that they can do.
The hop on, hop off options typically only pertain to one town. So you're not going to hop on from Catania and then hop off instead of Cusa. That's not going to happen. But in Catania, which is a pretty new thing, it's only about 3 or 4 years, correct?
Yeah.
And they also have those choo-choo trains that go around too. So there's,
And Travis says, I drive in Houston, Sicily's a breeze. You've been here before, Travis. You've done it.
You're
so for an
traveler.
experience.
Yeah.
I still don't understand what we disagree about in the trains. What are you talking about? We agree about that. It's good stuff. We agreed. This is historic. You said we disagree. I think you just like to say that.
No, I don't. I don't like
What is your feeling about
win.
agriturismos? We stayed at a wonderful place named Mandarova in Palma de Montechiaro. I love that town. The food there. I love agriturismo. You want to just not have to do anything, have a nice place to make your food and have a real Sicilian experience with some of the locals. Agriturismo is the way to go.
That's if you like that.
Right.
Again,
and I mean,
you
everything.
Listen, Eszter, everybody, if there's 50 people, they have 50 different likes and dislikes. Some people like soccer.
Right. This is
they
my
want to see
opinion.
a soccer match.
Sweetie pie, this is my opinion.
That's your opinion.
That's
okay.
The heat is especially hard for those who are not used to it. And yes, agree on the cobblestone can be hard to walk on. It can be, right?
Yes,
travel
can,
insurance, at least 2 pairs of good walking shoes. That's great advice right there.
Travel insurance. Jimmy, what do you suggest for walking shoes? Jim Ingram. I'd like to know what you wear.
What do you wear?
I wear Skechers. I like Skechers. What is Jim like?
Taormina used to celebrate St. Anthony as patron, I believe, on June 13 with all-day celebrations, including donkey carts. Do you know if they're still doing that? Thank you, Leonard. Not right now. They're not back yet. And I believe the festivals start again here, if I'm not mistaken, after June 21st. So
they do?
Yeah.
That means we can watch
well, in the white zone, like some places are already in white zone in Italy. Sicily is not yet. We have a ways to go.
We're getting there, though. We're getting there.
We're getting
there, buddy.
We rented a car on our first trip to Sicily and our trip to Italy, 17 days. We did not drive on the highways. It can be stressful, but so worth it, the things we discovered. And that's another thing, and again, this is my opinion, excuse me, Alfred, that if you do not want to go on one of those pre-planned trips with guides, they have the Godfather. They can't take those Godfather tours and you stop by all the Godfather movie things. You don't want to do that and you want to explore on your own. Then rent a car. You're on your own timetable and you can take the road less traveled, which is my favorite thing to do, right? I always say when we go to some of these towns, there's the main sites and right on the main street or the main areas, but always it's good to get off the beaten path, go explore on your own. And Pat, you're right. If you do rent a car, that is a good way. And I want to know, back to who asked that question, if that was helpful.
Skechers,
if you got that. So the person who asked that question, let me know if that answered your question.
One more comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a balancing test. Okay, you're coming here for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you decide to rent a car. Okay, rent a car is going to cost you $100 a day. So that's $1,000 for 10 days, correct?
Something like that.
Okay. Plus you have to drive, correct?
Gas.
And gas. Okay, so maybe by the time all is said and done, you're in the $1,200 to $1,300 range for that car for 10 days, correct? Versus renting a car and driver for 10 days. Okay, it's going to cost you $200 a day.
Something like that, depending where you go.
So now you do a balance, okay? $2,000. I have a private driver and maybe a air-conditioned Mercedes. I don't have to worry about driving. I could gawk outside the window with my woman or man or whoever it is you're going with.
That's my advice.
Right? So with the bun stuff, okay? And if I was coming here, I would opt for a driver. And I'm not talking about a train. I'm not talking about a bus. For me, a driver, nice car, two of us, 4 hours, okay? Typically, they're 4 hours. You're getting 4 hours once at the destination, hour in, an hour. That's all you want to do. Then you want to go out to dinner at night and then get drunk or whatever you got to do afterwards.
You don't have to worry about it. Maria says, when visiting, the best is not to drive so you can enjoy and take in the sights. That's
Correct.
exactly what I said, Alfred. Al is a great driver. He avoids the best person very well. Alfred is one of the best drivers. I feel very safe.
I miss Maria. I really love that woman.
I feel very safe driving with you because, I mean, even your experience. But I have to say that there's a lot of people who come here and enjoy the thrill of driving in Sicily, which can be a little bit here. Even like going in this area, you get this is the type of driver, okay? So I'm going up the street and someone's coming out of the driveway, and here's what they do. They look to the other way, they pull out, look the other way, and then look to my way to see if I'm coming. They don't give a hoot who's coming. They just go a hoot. They don't give a hoot.
You know, Esther, I've been stuck in washed out conditions with roads where I'm driving down more than once, at least 3 or 4 times in my driving experience here, flash flooding, okay, because the downpours here are torrential. I've been stuck on Mount Etna when the fog banks have rolled in within 20 minutes and you can't see literally 6 inches in front of you. I've been stuck up in Buccheri with Massimo, who's an experienced driver, on the same thing, okay? I can name for you 15 times in my 20 years here, however long I've been here, where I went out during the good weather and I came back, you know, stressed out to the max.
Remember the downpour? The downpour that we went in
Ragusa on the coming back. In Ragusa, we had to take
and not
100-mile detour.
And not even in one of them over here. And also you have the situation where the roads are damaged. I mean, they're not repaired. They're not being repaired. I think we had a situation growing up in Etna, one of the tours that I did, that we had to wait for like 20 minutes. It was a detour because there was a big hole on the street. It hadn't been fixed, and the drivers were trying to make the way.
What's the difference between a $5,000, $10,000 vacation for two, okay, in a nice hotel, or a $11,000 vacation for two at a nice hotel with a private driver? For heaven's sakes, you've worked your ass off to come here.
Yeah, enjoy it.
All your stress should be at home, okay? That's why we have the best private drivers. I'm not kidding you. Yeah. We have private drivers, and then we have private drivers. Okay.
And then we have you.
Well, I'm not a private driver. I mean, I know. I do it only because, I don't know why, because I'm an idiot. But I am not a driver. Okay. These guys, they know their stuff. Keep it with the professionals, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, and they give you some recommendations on where to go as well. The other thing I want to say about the train station, that if you have come here and you have done the car thing and you have done the train station, the train system here is very reliable and very good. So I would not rule that out. But again, you get that problem that once you get to the wherever you are. So for instance, when I come home from wherever I am and I land in Catania Central, there's buses available, taxis available, and stuff like that. But then you have the luggage you have to worry about getting off the train. You have to go down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, then take it out and, put it in the taxi. So that's just a lot of worry. Let me read a couple of these. I like to recommend a guided tour for the first visit. It gives a good overview. The next trip, rent a car.
There you go, Jim. All right.
Al, take Eszter to Azzurro Grotto in Taormina for her birthday. My favorite.
Been there.
I haven't. I haven't. We
I'm
have to
in
go to
trouble.
Catania. I mean, we have to go to Taormina in 2 weeks. Thank you for that
Oh.
recommendation, Joseph.
Those are those guys that have the small boats there in
Contino.
the bay, and you pay them €10,
that
and they
it?
take you for a little trip. Yeah, I've been there, of course.
If you rent a car, make sure you add insurance. US insurance companies will not cover. Oh, driving in Palermo is very intimidating. Even being a passenger is incredibly intimidating.
Remember the time I almost throttled that guy that was with us that said he knew. So
You
I
were
lived,
just.
I lived in Palermo for 20 years. I know
We got
it.
lost.
Right? 2 minutes later, we're lost. I wanted to throttle this guy. We were in the worst sections. Believe me, there's some pretty bad sections. We were in the worst sections over there.
Yeah, you don't want to get lost in
In
Palermo.
Palermo, you don't want to get lost.
If you drive, pay attention to the bump. Big scam. They will not turn back to zero, and you're paying for the car before you as well. Good advice. Okay.
There's a lot of things
It's
over
not
here.
like it's driving like Boston. I've driven Boston, Pat. In Sicily, it is not.
Here's my advice for those that absolutely don't want to rent a car. Okay, here's my advice: select two, and you're a first-time taker, first-time visitor. Select 2 areas that are very nice. Say Taormina and someplace else. Okay, or Palermo and someplace else. Okay, and Taormina. You work out of Taormina. You could take day trips, as I said. Okay. Palermo, you could take day trips. The beaches around Mondello is beautiful. There's Cefalo is not so far.
Bagheria.
Bagheria, there's tremendous places.
Those are great beaches up there.
You don't need to have a car, but you should have a private driver on the day that you don't want to be on foot. Okay.
Yeah.
Palermo being a city like New York City or Boston or Philly, it's a city. So to get from here to there, you're going to have to take a cab at the very least.
Rosie says, so Rosie, we are You, Me, and Sicily, just like this channel on Facebook.
You, Me, and Sicily on Facebook.
And then we have, each one of us has our private, Eszter and Alfred Zappala. So, but here's what I'm going to do. When we're finished with this show, in the show description of this program,
thank you, Joe.
When you look at it, it says see more. I'm going to put down my email so you make sure that you got it.
And one last thing about buses and transportation.
Yeah.
I've worked with the same bus company for almost 20 years, okay? We have 45 seaters. We have 22 seaters. We have 17 seaters. We have 14 seaters. We have beautiful 7 seaters. So shaping your transportation according to what the client's needs are, that's the first thing I do.
Yeah.
Okay? Making sure we put you in the right and safe situation.
Tony says, simple rule for driving in Sicily, all traffic control devices are just suggested. Well, that is really well put. I like that. Beware of the ZTLs. What are ZTLs? Do you know?
If you rent a car, beware of the ZTLs. What is ZTLs? I don't know what ZTLs are.
Rosanna, grazie mille.
ZTLs.
I enjoyed guided tours. Yes, so much more out of the trip. If you're staying a month, that's different. Now, here's the other thing I want to say about guided tours, because you can go to a city, Catania, Siracusa, Ortigia, Palermo, Cefalo, and you can very well walk down the streets on your own and explore on your own. But if you have someone that knows the place, that knows the history of the place, it gives the experience so much more value. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Let's see, traffic zones. Yeah, traffic zones. Okay, so let me see here.
They use airplanes to monitor traffic here and give out tickets.
The zones cars are forbidden to enter, usually in the bidding. Yeah. So that's very interesting, Thomas, that you mentioned that, because when Sicily, when Palermo was up for cultural city of Italy, and I think it was in 2017 or 18, it was designated cultural city of Italy, they shut down the historic section about a year before, because the mayor wanted to, first of all, make the appearance that it was much more welcoming to tourists. And also he wanted to reduce pollution in the center of Palermo. And to this day, the last time I was in downtown Palermo was obviously before the pandemic. The Centro Storico is still closed down, so the bus leaves you at a certain place, and then you can go over to the cathedral, the beautiful market, the outdoor market. So that is something very important to keep an eye on. And also you have Catania, right? You can't just drive in the center of Catania where there's a Piazza Duomo. Taxis do drive by there, but it's very limited in driving. So that was a very good point. Taormina, very crowded and many hills, but quite beautiful. First timers should hire drivers to get a lay of the land. Yeah.
Elizabeth Gwinnett says,
It's 4 years ago, we used GPS to Caltagirone, and it took us onto a former road in despair, quite scary. My sister did the driving. I couldn't do it. Cliffside driving is not my thing. So Elizabeth, so listen to this. Oh my God. If you knew, so we do these ancestral home videos, right? That we go all over the island featuring ancestral homes. And some of these places, obviously, we haven't been to. Some of these may be on a mountain top or remote area. You have no idea how many times Google has taken us either to a wrong time, to a detour, remember we went in what town in the province of Agrigento? Cianciana. It took us all the way around. And then the guy, when we were leaving, he said, what's the best way to get back to Agrigento? He gave us a nice, easy road. So Google Maps and all those others, forget about it.
We're going to wrap this up, Dave.
Okay. We have received tickets up to 6 months after trips.
Yeah.
We have started calling them love letters from Sicily. Okay.
That's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that, Sue, but you have to pay those tickets. Okay. If you don't, then the next time you come here, you may be red listed and not be able to rent. Okay.
It's called Zona Traffico Limitato, says
Stefania. She knows everything, this woman. It's just unbelievable.
Ciao tutti and enjoy your birthday, Eszter. Ciao, Al. Always a pleasure spending some time with you guys. And on that note, thank you, my friends, for being here and watching another video episode of You, Me, and Sicily. And we look forward to seeing you on another video episode. And thank you for all the great birthday wishes, and just happy to be here with you.
We'll be on again on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, another live chat. But in the meantime, if you haven't seen the Messina piece, you ought to watch it. It's like 8 minutes of bliss. How does that sound? Ciao.
Ciao.